Hello and welcome to another episode of PopCulture Reacts, and we are going with a Tribe Called Quest and Electric Relaxation.
Relaxation. How feel you about Tribe Called Quest? We've never spoken about them.
I know the hits, really like them, but never been one that I've gone. I know I should have done at some point is gone full dive into.
I think you're probably not alone in that. I think they did have some real notable songs, didn't they? And I think a lot of people know that they know that. And that's great because I think all of their hits are great as well. But they are one of those bands. Their albums are fantastic. And I think like kind of the variants on the styles within hip hop that they sort of touch on. I mean, they've got a lot of kind of jazziness to them and their samples and I don't know. I guess a lot of like they'll bring African drums in and things like that. But
Yeah,
yeah, like their albums are well worth a visit. But God, their hits are fantastic as far as I'm concerned.
yeah. So they're very much one of those of I know the stuff that got big, but I owe it to myself to go on a quest
Yes.
into a Tribe Called Quest.
And I mean, I picked this one, and I picked this one because of all of their songs. This, I just love this one. This is since I heard it, this has always been my favorite Tribe Called Quest song. And as the world and the universe revolves around me, and it's all about me, I thought I'd pick my favorite one.
So this isn't one that I know the name of, but that doesn't mean that I don't know the song.
I think there's a
'Cause-
there's a decent chance you'll recognise it, like a very sort of distinctive sort of beat hook sound to it that I think you'll kind of know straight away if you've heard it before. But if you haven't, even better because it's a treat, I shall say.
so let's go on a
Let's
tribe.
relax.
Relax yourself now, be settled down. 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 Relax yourself now, be settled down.
Honey, check it out, you got me mesmerized with your black hair and your fat thighs. Street poetry is my everyday, but yo, I gotta stop when you drop my weight. If I was working at the club, you would not pay. Hey yo, my man Fife Diggy, he got something to say.
I like 'em brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. Name is Fight Dog from the Zulu Nation. Told you in the jam that we could get down. Now let's knock the boots like the group H-Town. You got BBD all on your bedroom wall. But I'm above the rim and this is how I ball. A gritty little something on the New York street. This is how I represent over this here beat. Talking about you.
Yo, I took you out, but sex was on my mind for the whole damn route. My mind was in a frenzy in a horny state, but I couldn't drop dimes cause you couldn't relate.
Relax yourself now, be settled
You
down.
couldn't relate.
Relax yourself now, be settled
You
down.
couldn't relate.
Relax yourself now, be settled down. Relax yourself now, be settled down. Relax yourself now, be settled down. Relax yourself now, be settled down.
Stretch out your legs, let me make it ball. Drive you insane, drive you up the wall. Staring at your dome piece, very strong. Stronger than pride, stronger than Teflon. Take you on the Ave and you buy me links. Now I want a pound of until it stinks. You could be my mama and I'll be your boy.
Original rude boy, never am I coy. You could be a shorty in my ill convoy. Not to come across as a thug or a hood. But hun, you got the goods, like Madeline Wood. By the way, my name's Malik, the 5-foot freak. They say we get together by the end of the week. She simply said no, label me a. I said, how you figure? My friends tell me so. I hate when silly groupies wanna run their yacht. Word to God, hun, I don't get down like that.
I'll have you weak in the knees that you can hardly speak. Or we could do like Uncle Ella swinging up in my Jeep. Keep it on the down, yo, we keep it discreet. See, I'm not the type of kid to have my biz in the streets.
If my mom don't approve, then I'll just elope. Let me save the little man from inside the boat. Let me hit it from the back, girl, I won't catch a hernia. Off on your couch, now you got Siemens furniture.
Shy, he fight for the extra P. Stacy Beetle, PJ, and my man LG. They know the abstract is really so on ice. The character is of man, never ever a mice. Shorty, let me tell you about my only vice. It has to do with lots of loving, and it ain't nothing nice.
Relax yourself now, be settled
It ain't
down.
nothing
Relax
nice.
yourself now, be settled
It ain't
down.
nothing nice.
Relax yourself clear. Relax yourself and help you set 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 clear.
Did you find yourself relaxed? Relaxed.
Ooh, so relaxing. That is not one I've heard before.
Ooh.
I'd like that.
When you said you wasn't sure whether you'd heard it, I was kind of thinking, oh, I hope he hasn't, because I think he'll like this.
Yeah, no, this is. I think with a lot of Tribe Called Quest stuff, like the loops and the samples and the stuff, it's just you can automatically tell a Tribe song because
Yeah.
of it being that sort of very mellow, very sedate. It's not
Yeah.
abrasive. It's not, especially when you think of like a lot of like the '90s stuff, where it'd be like sirens or abrasive sort of noises. This is like the complete opposite, and you just get it's just good. And then obviously,
Well, as I say, before you jump on, one of the reasons why I love it and loved it when it come out, you said that like that kind of Public Enemy era, New York East Coast rap style, boom bap kind of, and you're right, kind of abrasive sounds. I mean, that is what I was loving the most. And then this, because I wanted that juxtaposition, I wanted that smooth, jazzy, lighter samples, and Tribe De La Soul did it for me as well. At that point,
yeah,
they gave me the other side of the coin that I loved, and I know for a lot of people, bit late in this, but a lot of people, the other side of the coin was West Coast. Whereas that's why I guess I never massively resonated with the West Coast, because I was like, no, I still kind of want my East Coast, but I want my East Coast more jazzier, more melodic music that comes along with my hip hop.
yeah. The thing is, even with if you go like West Coast stuff, even that musically might not be as abrasive, but the delivery is just as abrasive as your Public Enemies and things like that. Whereas this, as you say, De La Soul, there's it's a more funkier, more
Yeah.
jazz sort of vibe going in. That it's chill out hip hop, not
Yeah.
fighting hip hop.
Yeah, it would be hard to have a fight to this, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
it would be the weakest round of Bitch Slap Golden Eye ever, because you just go, no, let's stand here and have a chat.
You could either have Fight the Power or this. There's one of
Funny
them that
enough,
you're
though,
fighting to, one of them isn't.
I'm quite pleased you actually just said Fight the Power, because I was choosing between two songs for this video, and it's between this and Fight the Power. Because they're of an era that I love, very kind of similar time, and I think similar levels of quality, but obviously doing very different things.
Yes.
Rapping wise, what say you of the Q-Tip and the Fife Dog?
Q-Tip is another one of those similar with the music. You can tell him a fucking mile off.
Yeah.
Especially when he turns up on random bits as well, like
Oft used
in
guest star
Delight.
because of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's what made that song for me, and I do fucking love that song. But yeah, you can see why people often would pick him out and say, "Can you just do a couple of bars on my song?" Because it's such a distinct like lilt to his voice, and and can change up the flow and the vibe of a song instantaneously.
But still always have that mellowness to it. That
It just sounds cool as well, doesn't he? Like
Yeah.
he just like, you imagine if you met him and you just think like whatever you were doing, it would be inherently, it would have like a degree of like panache and coolness to it, and effortlessly cool, isn't he? You
Yeah.
don't feel like he puts any effort to get to that point. It's just who he is.
Yeah, it just flows out of him.
Yeah.
The other lad, I liked him too. And his juxtaposition
Yeah.
to Q-Tip, where still not abrasive, not aggy or anything like that, but just that slight sort of turn on it that just worked so well as a counterbalance to Q-Tip.
He's got that kind of like reggae ragga kind of delivery to it, but without being reggae or ragga, doesn't he? He's just got that
Yeah.
that kind of vibe to his voice, and as you say, like that juxtaposition to Q-Tip, it really works. And I'm pleased to say, in all of the songs I have heard of them together in their Tribe Called Quest, that kind of stays with them. And one of the reasons why I thought let's do this or let's do Fight the Power is, after doing Run the Jewels and we were talking about duo, and I kind of went into my head of, oh, let's get another kind of duo on. And as much as like Flavor Flav and Chuck D are a duo, let's be honest, they're slightly different, aren't they? Chuck D does all
Yeah.
the lifting, and Flavor Flav just comes on and says something every now and again. Does a bit of rapping here and there, but with these two, I feel very different styles, but I feel a similar amount of kind of respect and probably at that time they were the equivalent of how I feel about Killer Mike and LP now, because I think as a duo they work so well together, they stand out. I would say possibly in the same thing as you said about Run the Jewels, you may end up having a favorite, and I think for most people Q-Tip would ultimately be the favorite, and I do actually think he is probably the better of the two, but they work so well together.
Yeah. I mean, the way Q-Tip would be the one that people would vibe with more is because he is so distinctive
Yeah.
to everyone else. You know, you can pick him out of like straight away. The minute you hear him on anything that he's like guesting on,
Yeah.
you know exactly who he is straight out. So, but yeah, definitely one for the jumping on for, I think, Sunday houseworky playlist.
Yeah.
This is, I may go on a quest.
Yeah, who knows what you might find on that quest? Hopefully, a couple of quid down the back of the sofa, which is what we all hope when we have to do housework. I'm glad. I mean, I think possibly in our future we'll come back to a bit more Tribe Called Quest somewhere down the line. So if anyone's got any Tribe Called Quest songs that they particularly like or they think they'd like us to react to, pop them down there. Or as we say, any bands that have got a very similar style to it. I mean, I mentioned De La Soul, and I've got a whole lot of love for De La Soul, as it was actually 3 Feet High and Rising was the first hip hop album I ever listened to. But around that time, you had people like Gangstar who were doing a lot of jazzy stuff. But yeah, drop in the comments if you've got any bands that you think kind of fit the bill or any Tribe songs you'd like us to comment on.
Yes. And until next time, goodbye.